All right, let's get right into this one. I like to apply the gesso all over the canvas first, and then use the foam brush to spread the gesso across the whole canvas. I prefer the foam brush as it seems to be a nice inexpensive way to do this and doesn't leave any loose bristles behind and seems to have a little bit less streaking through the gesso as you go. I like to give the edges a nice little clean. So we're going to do this a few times. I like to get 4 to 6 layers of gesso on this canvas. I find that a nice layer of gesso helps me use the scratching technique that I like to do. As I lay this down, you'll see that I keep the brush very, very flat, a sharp angle to the canvas that helps keep it smooth and less work with the sanding. The more you can go back and forth and crisscross your layers, the better. Here's what it looks like now after it dries. You can see we've got a little bit of brush strokes in there. It's kind of a little bit wavy, but you can see it's much smoother already than the canvas itself. All right, grab your water and a spray bottle. Grab yourself a little piece of sanding paper, not too aggressive, but aggressive enough that you're gonna work that gesso. Now I like to hit it with a lot of water and just push hard. This is 150 grit. I work the sandpaper pretty tough into there. The purpose is twofold. One, to knock down any high spots with the sandpaper, and also to create a slurry with the water and what is being built up with the sanding. You can see I keep putting multiple bits of water on top of there, keeping that surface quite wet and slowly building up. You can see the brush strokes are slowly coming out and we get a nice circular pattern, which is a little more random. It's going to be a little less noticeable than straight streaks across your page. All right, let's pull back and take a look. So you can see I get pretty aggressive with the sandpaper, push pretty hard and get right to the edges. You want to make sure that you have the whole canvas worked over and smooth. So as we keep sanding, you're going to see we're going to build up quite a bit of this slurry mixture with the fine sanding. You can see right here, it's on the sandpaper and it's quite liquid. This helps to fill in any of the little crevices that the brush might leave behind or any imperfections. So you can see we got quite a bit of sloppy stuff on top, which is great. Now as we continue sanding, I'm going to keep working that through, get every little bit wet, keep working it wet, smooth it out as best you can with the sandpaper and the water, getting right to the edges, fill in any little divots that might be there, and knock down any of the high spots. As you keep working, the gesso will dry quite quickly, so just keep going over it and over it. See, I just keep going as it dries. It'll just get a little bit smoother as you continue through. Keep applying water as you need and focus in little areas that are not to your liking just yet. Remember, we still have a couple steps to go. All right, here's what we get after we're finished with the wet sand. You can see we've got a much smoother surface than we did with the brush itself. You can see little imperfections in there, and it's not perfect just yet. All right, here we have the dried gesso now, ready to come back in with the dry sanding to start with. You can see it's pretty smooth. That liquid gesso layer that we've got on top smooths out quite nicely. All right, again, same sandpaper. I don't mess around with a whole bunch of different grits or any of that. I don't think it's quite necessary. That dry rub that we're doing now, there's no water on there yet, but right now we're knocking down all the high spots. It's pushing pretty aggressively again, and just sort of leaves behind a little layer, a dusting layer of gesso. So work the whole thing over, and then we're going to come back in with a little bit of water. There it is. So just a light little spritz on there, you can see it doesn't take very much, and you can see it's already much smoother than it was in the beginning. Lightly hitting it with some water again, working in circles. Circles are a little more natural and less streaky looking. So as it dries really fast at this process, you just throw a little bit of moisture down, flip around. I like to use the dirty side and the clean side of the sandpaper, and make sure you get all to the edges. Grab a little bit of paper towel, wipe down the loose bits of sand, and now we can take a look at what we're left behind. It's already dry, we're almost ready to go. But you see, I keep my finger in there so that the camera has something to focus on. And you can see we've got a nice smooth surface to work with. There's only a few little imperfections, and of course you can do this layer or this step multiple times to get it exactly how you want it. And here's your overall look and the canvas ready to go.